2011 Nissan Murano with a check engine light on. Guess what DTC we have? It is a Nissan. Yep. We have the P0101. Can I get that to stand up? So we have the DTC P0101. Mass airflow sensor circuit, bank 1. It's never usually the mass airflow sensor. It's usually just a vacuum leak. Let's go to some live data. Let's search for alpha. Nissan uses alpha. Come on. For the fuel trims. 100% alpha is ideal. Anything less than that, oh, where is it? Why didn't it show up? Let's try AF. So as I was saying, 100% alpha is ideal. Anything less than that, you're going rich. Anything above that, you're going lean. Over 110%, that is lean condition, and the computer is not happy about that. Anything under 90%, that's a rich condition, and the computer is not happy about that. Alright, so let's show those two. 100% would be ideal. The car isn't even running right now, so let's start the car up and see what we got. Alright, so bank 1, 100%, bank 2, 101%. That's good. Is this in closed loop? That thing isn't moving at all. Let me see if it's real. Let's see if it's warmed up. Alright, so the car is not warmed up yet. Not fully. Let's get coolant temperature sensor up on the list as well, so we can see when it warms up. Yeah, we're only at 125 degrees. Alright, so we don't want to watch paint dry. I'm going to stop the video and I will come back. Oh, looks like we're open loop now. No need to stop it. We got some activity. And our activity looks so good. So let's go to a graph. Go to that graph. I want to take this thing with me, but the battery is so low. I'm gonna bring it with me. Hopefully it doesn't die on me. It usually gives me a warning before it dies. Alright, so let's give it some snaps and see what kind of what we got. Okay, we're a little rich, not too bad though. That's about right. What happens often on these Muranos is the intake boot rips. And when you're sitting at idle, it's perfectly closed. Well, not perfectly closed, but it's not really leaking too much. And then when you go to accelerate, that intake boot rips open some because the engine is shifting. And you end up with a P0101 code, which is mass airflow sensor circuit code. When in reality, oh man, that thing almost stalled. When in reality, all you have is a lean condition. So it should be throwing a P0171, but Nissan isn't like that. Yeah, this thing, there's something wrong with it. It almost stalled at one time. We got something going on here. Alright, so let's smoke test this because we could have that intake boot leak. Yeah, let's smoke test it. Let's start there. Alright, so I got you guys positioned. Yeah, let's get started. While we have it off, let's take a quick look at the mass airflow sensor. Let's just unplug it. Looks alright. Now the fuel trims doesn't necessarily indicate that we have a vacuum leak, but quite often there's a rip in this boot here. I could pull it off and smoke test it. I mean, pull it off and inspect it, but that's boring, right? Let's hook the smoke machine up, see if we got some smoke coming out of there, or we could have some leakage coming out of this. So we'll just check everything, make sure we got no leaks. It could possibly be a throttle body. Quite often the throttle bodies on these fail, and you'll get the same DTC. What happens is the throttle body tends to get stuck. It starts to bind, and then you get mass airflow readings that are not in line with what the computer is expecting to see based on throttle input, which is why it throws that P0101 DTC. But there is throttle position sensors inside the throttle body, where the computer should know that since you have X on the accelerator pedal, you should have Y. You should have another number on the throttle position sensor that matches what the input is, but I don't know. What do I know? It's gotta be this one. This one has the dirt on it. There we go. Alright, so let's tighten that off. See? That's the boot that leaks occasionally. Most of the time, that's what you got when you have a 101 DTC on a Murano. It's the boot ripped. Sometimes it's pretty obvious where you could just move it and stick your hand in it and then you find the rip, but this one I couldn't find it when I was filling up the boot. Couldn't find it. Alright, so let me get the light.
I'm hooking up the smoke machine to the vacuum line that came off the brake booster. Disconnect the brake booster vacuum line, connect the smoke machine to it, and that's how we're going to get our smoke inside the intake manifold so we can check for leaks.
So I realized that the smoke machine was not producing any smoke, so we probably wouldn't see any smoke if there was a leak. So I pressed the button again, and let's see if we got any leaks. Alright, so the next thing I want to check is the throttle body and see if we have any binding or sticking with the throttle body. No, I don't have no 171.
No, but is that the same actually code?
It's not the same code.
Oh, okay.
101 is mass airflow sensor circuit, allegedly, but it's never a circuit. It's gonna rip, bro. What's wrong with you? It's not ripped yet, but it will.
Yeah, soon. It's not even leaking, huh?
It's not leaking. That's usually where it rips at, right there, where the crack is.
Yeah.
But we've got no rips in that one.
Clean that up and see if it's changed.
Let's go see if the throttle body is sticking. Because sometimes the throttle body sticks. You know when you change the throttle bodies on the Rogues?
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's because they stick. Alright, so let's see if we got any binding. That's pretty smooth. It should be nice and smooth. No binding or anything like that. Yup, look at that. It's sticking. See that? Right there. It's stuck closed. It shouldn't do that. It shouldn't get stuck like that. The new ones don't do that. And that's usually what I find. I mean, I could be wrong, but usually when I have a P0101 code, I usually find that the throttle bodies will stick in that position.
What I mean to say is that when I have a P0101 DTC and everything checks out okay, the throttle body sticking is usually the culprit. When I say everything checking out okay, I mean air filter is installed correctly, there's not a cheap air filter in, there's no rips in the intake boot, there's no vacuum leaks, there's no dirt stuck in the mass airflow sensor, there's no aftermarket mass airflow sensor installed, and there's no PCM update or engine control module update available for this vehicle. Usually what I'll find is that the throttle body is sticking in the closed position, and this is also usually accompanied by a stalling condition or a vehicle that feels like it's about to stall.
All of the ones that I've changed for the P0101 DTC have had throttle bodies that stick closed in that position. Now, I have had luck with cleaning these out and it doesn't stick anymore. So maybe we'll give that a try because these throttle bodies are $800. So what I'm going to do is clean it out, do an idle volume relearn, make sure it doesn't stick anymore. I think the carbon is what causes it to stick. Do an idle volume relearn on it, see if it feels like it wants to stall anymore, because usually after I clean it and do the idle volume relearn on it, it fixes it most of the time. I'd say, well, not most of the time. I would say like 70% of the time it takes care of the problem. So we're gonna clean it up, make sure it doesn't stick anymore, and then do our test and see if it stalls out. Because, well, it didn't stall out on us, but it felt like it wanted to stall out. See if it does the same thing, has the same characteristics. And if it doesn't, then we'll ship it, because that's usually the characteristics of it stalling is usually a telltale sign that it's sticking, or wanting to stall is usually a telltale sign that it's sticking. So let's do that. I can get you guys set up right here so you can see what's going on. That's my camera mount. Sexy, right? Ooh, I don't want to hit that back time. See if the plate still sticks. Look at that. No more sticking. That's what it should do. It should bounce right back. Okay. Now I'm gonna try and clean that carbon on the edge there. Let's put everything back together and then we'll do idle air volume relearn. Another thing that causes the P0101 cheap air filters. This is a Nissan OEM air filter. It's dirty, but it's not a cheap air filter where debris is going to get past. A lot of the cheap ones, they don't fit, they don't seal on the sides, so they'll end up sinking in, and then dirt gets past the sides and it gets onto the max airflow sensor. Well, it's not pictured right now, but dirt gets into the max airflow sensor because you use a cheap air filter. Now we're going to sell this customer a boot as well because we don't want it to come back for a ripped boot, giving us the same DTC P0101. We probably would have been able to see that if we hooked the scope up to our throttle position sensors and then hit the accelerator and let it go, and we'd probably be able to see that the throttle position sensor was sticking. Let's see if we can get this thing to do the idle air volume relearn. Some people like to do a lot of complaining about the Autel being slow and not working right. And I can vouch for it as far as the idle air volume relearn test. Well, not test, but procedure. Not being that great, because it isn't really that great on this thing. Sometimes it fails. The engine does need to be warmed. It needs to be warm. I'm not sure what temperature. 70 degrees Celsius. So whatever 70 degrees Celsius translates to in Fahrenheit, that's where you need to have your coolant temperature sensor at before you can do the idle air volume relearn. Otherwise it won't take. And if it's the idle is too high, it won't let you do it as well. So let's go to special functions. Go to idle air volume relearn. Tells you right there, engine coolant temp between 70 to 100 degrees Celsius. Park neutral park switch on, electric load switch off, nothing on, fan blower off, HVAC off, vehicle speed stop, air conditioner off, power steering signal on, heater fan switch off. So basically no loads, and it will allow you to do it afterwards. Alright, so we got halfway on our temperature gauge, so let's see if it'll let us do it. Something don't feel right with this car. Oh, I left the thing off. We gotta redo it because my dumb behind left the brake booster off. The brake booster vacuum line. So let's redo it. It says completed. It's idling good. Come on. It's idling good. So let's do it again. Because with that massive vacuum leak. Let's go. with the massive vacuum leak from the brake booster, I'm pretty sure it couldn't do too good of a job. It didn't do too good of a job. Oh, that's too bright. That's better. Much better. Alright, so let's start it again. Alright. Yeah, I knew something was wrong. This thing was idling really rough.
Hey! Get ahead, baby.
Oh yeah, it's a lot better now. A lot smoother. Next one of these I get with the sticking throttle body, I'm gonna hook up a scope and then get some waveforms from the throttle position sensors. Kind of a pain in the butt to get to, but we can do it. Maybe we can go to the ECM. Let's see which one is easier to get to. Maybe we can get our readings right at the ECM, if that's easier to get to. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. I may have to go all the way back out and start it over that way. I think it did a faster job when I had that big ass vacuum leak. Alright, I'm gonna give it 20 more seconds and then I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna restart the car and try it. Didn't work. Alright, so let's restart the car. Turn it off for a few seconds. Sometimes you have to reset the computer. Alright, so let's go back in special functions, idle, air volume, relearn, establishing communication. We read that already. Let's go, come on. Okay, there we go. Start. God damn it. Complete, there we go. Sheesh. There we go. Okay. Alright, so let's clear our DTCs. You know what? I'm not going to clear the DTCs because this might end up being under some type of warranty. They always got some type of hidden warranty somewhere that you don't know about until you get it in the shop and you think it's a cash ticket. But anyway, so I'm not going to clear the DTCs right now. But let's see how it runs now. Before, when it would go down to idle, it would almost stall out because the throttle was sticking. Yeah, good to go. Before, it would like almost stall. So we should be alright. I came with AutoFix Pal. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment. Peace.
That's when we are through.